You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, gays, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter here. Hope you're having a good one whenever you check this out. I've got a review for the film Betrayal, which is co-written and directed by Roger Griffiths. Pardon me. It's co-written along with Robert Drummond. And man, I've talked about this before on the pod, how I love movies that are kind of Twilight Zone adjacent, is what I call them. A film where I feel like this could be a Twilight Zone episode, but that it just happens to be expanded out to a full-length feature. And what this movie reminds me of is The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. It very much has that vibe in terms of the paranoia. So this is unfortunately one of those movies where I am going to have to kind of dance around shit, which is a little unfortunate. But this film follows a set of three brothers, Vincent, John, and I'm forgetting the other dude's name. But they go ahead, we're following these three brothers, and they go ahead and take their father out on a camping trip. The father is played by by Paul Higgins, pardon me. So I don't think they actually say the dad's name, but they go ahead and they go out in the woods and they shoot the father. Go ahead and shoot him in the chest, and they go ahead and bury him alive. And you're rightfully so, you're like, what the fuck just happened? Because that's what my reaction was. But as the film goes on, you realize that the father has been abusive probably as long as these kids have been alive. And the film does a really great job of showing you flashbacks to very pivotal moments in the son's lives, where you realize how not just aggressive but downright cruel their father is. There's a moment involving an egg, which I won't spoil, where you just go, Jesus Christ, this guy sucks. And that's really the message I kept getting, is just how fucking monstrous this father is. And the more the film goes on, the more monstrous the father becomes, to a point where it is uncomfortable. But to be quite frank, this film should make you uncomfortable. The fact that this film goes ahead and talks about domestic abuse and goes ahead and really gets to the heart of it. Again, I'm trying to dance around spoilers, but we see some flashbacks between the father and his wife, Annie, who's played by Joanne Thompson, who does an incredible job. And the more the film goes on, the more you realize how dire the situation is. It would have been bad enough if he had just, abused the family once. But the fact of the matter is that it's a pattern that's been established within the household, to the point that everyone is walking on eggshells. Everyone is afraid. Everyone is afraid to just exist. With the exception of one kid in the house, one of the brothers, and that's played by Callum Ross, who plays Vince. And what's crazy about I think that's actually Brian. So I apologize, but IMDb doesn't really have like the names listed, which is very odd. But it's saying that Callum Ross plays Vince, so I'm gonna go with that. But I feel like that's wrong. Anyways, Vince in the movie is very much looked at as the golden child. He's the middle child. And what the dad has been able to successfully do, unfortunately, is gaslight this kid. And he's doing it constantly, talking about how, I abuse your brothers, and yeah, I'm kind of shitty to you, but you're always the favorite. You will always be my favorite. And the way that he's able to go ahead and continuously push that narrative to go ahead and keep the brothers within this box is just so terrifying, and it's so sad. The brothers, though, once they go ahead and shoot the father, they end up going back to the grave for reasons and discover that the grave is now empty. And that's where the paranoia sets in. And that's the part of the film for me where I just went, oh, hell yeah. Because it really does make you question a lot. It makes you question the strength of the bond between these siblings. It makes you question, oh my God, what happened to the dad? Did one of them dig him back up out of grief? Did he get out himself? Did someone else go ahead and dig him out? There's a point where the brothers are interacting with this neighbor, and they're just, you can just see the wheels turning inside of each brother's head as they're trying to rationalize what they've done, and the conversations that they have internally and externally with each other are so fucking fascinating. It's really quite. There's a moment where I believe it's John. He goes ahead and they're sitting at the table, like their dining room table, and of course this is after they've shot their dad, and just the disdain in which he spits at the chair. This movie, I've talked about this on the pod before, but I really love when a film trusts its audience. Like, you don't need to spoon feed and say every single thing that's occurred. You can go ahead and infer and use, and trust your audience to go ahead and connect the dots. And there are quite a few moments like that where you realize just how internally, like how deep this trauma clearly runs. They do a great job of using flashbacks to go ahead and fill in the gaps, and you realize that this has been something that's been going on for years. And I think that's something about abuse that is very much not talked about nearly enough, that I think this film nails. It's the fact that once you've been abused for so long, it just becomes routine, which makes it harder to break. You just accept the fear. You accept the walking on eggshells. You accept the fact that people don't know, and you kind of cocoon yourself, and you just, you just kind of burrow and don't try to let anyone in. And that's really, outside of the actual act, that's the part that's so fucking tragic. And when you see the brothers kind of start to open up a little bit to each other about this, it's so fascinating to see how these things break down and how their relationship change, and these conversations, these very uncomfortable conversations that they have to go ahead and have, without getting too much into spoilers, because I definitely want people to go ahead and discover this for themselves. Where this film ended up, I fucking loved it. I just went, yes. I was like, this is what I wanted. Yes, yes, yes. The last third of this movie just hits like gangbusters. It's so intense, and the tension ramps up so well throughout the film. Whether it's the use of the score in here, I thought was so well done. There are a couple sequences at night that definitely use these thriller and horror elements, make you question the reality of what you're watching. There are just several moments in this film where I just went, it's absolutely nailing this. And again, this is a movie that doesn't overstay its welcome. It's an hour 34, so 94 minutes. It's a lean 94 minutes, but you feel like it tells a full encapsulating story. And when I got to the end of this, I went, yeah, I will be rewatching this. I actually watched this twice. I watched this once a couple days ago, and then one more time this morning. Getting in my final thoughts, if you want a movie that's gonna fuck with you a little bit, a movie that's gonna go ahead and definitely make you yell at multiple points. I found myself yelling at multiple points, to the point that Alea even came in. She's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, I'm an intense part. This just let me go. But I dug the hell out of this so much, and I'm excited for audiences to discover this film. This is a solid B+ for me. Yeah, I dug this a lot, and I'm really excited for people to go ahead and experience this and go and discover this film. But a solid B+ for Betrayal. Definitely check this out when it I believe this will be getting a theatrical release. I know for sure it's going to be on VOD, but yeah, hell yeah to this. Check this out as soon as you can. It is well worth your time. So yeah, B+ for Betrayal. So, Betrayal, y'all seen it? What'd you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube at The Real Pineapple. That's REEL Pineapple. Just go ahead and search that on YouTube. Make sure you hit the bell so you know when new reviews are dropping. You can go ahead and follow me on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. That's a J Hunter, and then REEL, and then Pineapple. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. Go ahead and like both my Facebook pages on Facebook, The Real Pineapple, and then Real Pineapple Games. And you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheRealPineapple. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. You can pretty much listen to The Real Pineapple wherever you listen to podcasts: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'll have more reviews coming up for y'all soon. We are almost in October, so I'll be revealing my Halloween list as far as what we'll be reviewing for Halloween. I'll be reviewing that probably the last week of September. So get excited, because I've got some fun stuff. I'm excited to go ahead and add to the Real Scary series this year. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, take care of each other. Give someone a hug, give someone a compliment. We could all use some more positivity out there. And never forget, as always, to keep it real.